do you decide what book to read next or what book ends up in your TBR? I've readily admitted that for me, sometimes it's impulse. I can be in the Kindle store, see a book that interests me, be in the library or a bookstore, see something that I'm interested in, and suddenly that rises to the top of my reading list. I have a fairly long TBR list, but things can jump ahead based upon a review I've heard or something like that. And picking new books to read it can be a bit of a challenge. Think about it. There are over 3 million new books published every year. So it can be hard to find the right book to read. I've talked with a number of people about how they decide what books to read, and I've discovered a couple of things that everybody seems to have in common. First of all, is starting with your interest, but also your mood. What am I in the mood to read? You may be interested in the American presidency, like I am. You might be interested in medical history and medical discoveries. On the fiction side, maybe it's mystery or romance or something like that. And so you can't discount the mood you're in or the interests that you have. One of the things that I do is I ask for book recommendations for people I trust, like friends and family. I love that on my Facebook page, a lot of people post books that they've been reading, and these are friends of mine who my friends on Facebook. They'll post books that they're reading, and I tend to do the same thing too. So if I know that one of my friends is reading a particular book, and I like what they've recommended in the past, I'm more likely to add that to my list. It's another reason why even in these videos, I frequently ask you to recommend books to me. Leave a comment in the comment section below because I feel that you're learning the kinds of things that I enjoy reading, and so your suggestions are helpful to me. I also use digital tools. I peruse Goodreads. I also browse Amazon's Look Inside feature to take a look at some writing styles. One of the other things that I do is I'm a voracious reader of the New York Times book magazine, as well as a lot of other different review sites, and that's I kind of mine those sites for books that interests me. I do like to sample books before making a commitment to reading something. That's where libraries or bookstores have a real advantage because I do like to crack open a book in a library and read the first few pages of the book, and that kind of helps me decide if it's a book that I would like, either in terms of content or writing style. But even electronically, you can get previews to ebooks, and I take advantage of that, kind of test the waters. But I do have a philosophy that says if a book doesn't grab me in the first chapter, I'm probably going to put it aside. It's not something I want to make a commitment to. It's very rare that I read, let's say, even a third of a book and decide to give up. I pretty much know in the first chapter as to whether or not it's a book that I'm going to like and want to commit to. I saw a quote that somebody posted on Twitter X once, and it says, "Life is too short to read books that you don't enjoy," and I tend to agree with that. I do like to balance what I call accessible books with challenging reads. While I only read like really long books periodically, I guess it's my attention span. I do make sure that of the books that I read, some of them, are a little bit more challenging in terms of the topic or the style of writing. I think it kind of keeps me open to different types of books. In terms of the library, I'm known to check out multiple books at once so that I can kind of explore them without, having to go and buy books and cheap. I can't help it. So that's where the library really is a big plus for me. But my curiosity guides me often in how I pick a book. And sometimes, it's where I am in my life or issues that I'm going through that will help me decide what I'm going to read next. So I would love to know how you pick a book to read, how you decide, how long you give a book before you put it down. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and your thoughts, as well as book recommendations that you have for me as well. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Keep reading.